I told you that there were some things that you were doing thinking that it made you smell good when the truth is it actually makes you stink. Your scent is one of the most powerful nonverbal communicating tools that you have. If you smell great, good news. People are going to be automatically drawn to you like a moth to a flame, but unfortunately, there's some things that you're doing thinking that it makes you smell incredible when the truth is it actually makes you smell worse. And real quick guys, before we get into this video, if you are interested in smelling incredible and also helping your boy Alpha out, I ordered too much of this fragrance. Legend is inspired by Tom Ford's Effing Fabulous, and it smells effing fabulous. You guys are gonna love it. Effing Fabulous in the store is literally like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. This was under 50, but right now, if you use that code, you're gonna get it for $25, literally 50% off. Why am I doing that? Because I ordered too much. I just have to be honest. And for me as a business owner, when I've got too much inventory in a specific area or product, it's like dollar bills sitting on the shelf. I've got to move this out so that I can come out with a new fragrance that's gonna be like a limited edition. So if you guys are interested in helping me out and smelling amazing, I got a link down below, also a discount code, 50% off, literally $25 freaking dollars. Number one, which is wearing the same fragrance that every other dude is wearing. Now, the good news is they do smell good. They're not offensive typically, but the downside is that literally you smell like every other dude and her ex-boyfriend Brad. Ooh, I know, I'll mix two fragrances together. That way I smell different than everybody else, and if the two fragrances smell awesome, I'm gonna smell extra awesome. Wrong. Never mix fragrances, which is the second mistake. Guys, do not spray two different fragrances on without showering. Which brings me to the next mistake that so many guys make, and that is using grooming products that have a very powerful scent. Whether or not it's a body wash, a deodorant, a beard oil, a shampoo, if there's anything that you're using that is sticking to your body, it is absolutely making your fragrance that you wear smell worse. If you want to smell like your fragrance, then you need to make sure that the products that you're using are fragrance-free or have a very mild scent that aren't actually sticking to your body. A lot of the things like the earthy, like woodier, musky scents, right? These like stick to your body. And if you're trying to wear something that's like fresh and light, it unfortunately makes you smell worse. A general rule of thumb is that the fresher, lighter fragrances in terms of grooming products, these are not gonna stick to your body as much and be as powerful as the musky, like woody ones. And so if you're looking for something like a ball powder, go with something that's like a fresh scent, or you can even find something that is unscented. That's the reason why we created a fragrance-free version of the Pete and Pedro ball powder. We knew we didn't want your balls to stink, but there are a lot of guys that are a little bit more sensitive to scents, or you just want to smell like exclusively like your fragrance. All right, which brings me to the next mistake. Never spray fragrance down your pants on your balls. This is a big, huge no-no. Now, why? Well, there are a few reasons. Number one, you don't smell good when you spray fragrance down there because the fragrance mixes with your man musk. It does nothing to actually prevent you from sweating or from stink. Which brings me to the next mistake, powdering your balls with baby powder. Unless you're cool smelling like a baby, also having a white, chalky, talky, milky mess in your pants. The next mistake that you make that you think is gonna make you smell amazing, but it actually makes you smell worse is what I call over projection because of not knowing what you're actually wearing. All right, so here's the deal. Different fragrances have different intensities, right? The spring, summer fragrances, these are lighter, fresher, and so you could actually wear more sprays and not offend people. But the heavier fragrances, the ones that you wear in the winter or the fall, right? These are heavier. And so if you're somebody that's wearing like 3 or 4 squirts of a light fragrance, maybe tone it back to like 2 squirts of something that's a little bit heavier. Because if you go with the same amount of squirts, this literally is gonna knock people out. The next thing you're doing thinking, oh, I'm gonna smell amazing because I'm just gonna apply a small little dab of Vaseline on my pulse points and then boom, it's gonna project like a rock star. The problem is that you're not smelling as good as you think you are because you're not using enough Vaseline. Now, I'm not talking about like lathering it all over, but you gotta cover the pulse point. Remember, when you spray, it's a spray. It's not a pinpoint pulse. And so you got to make sure that you're actually covering a large enough area, all right? And then you get your fragrance and then boom, right? Just there, all right? Another mistake is that you're holding it too far away from you. Guys, you got to make sure that when you're applying a fragrance that it's projected in a specific pattern and area, all right? One of the big mistakes is guys will do like the mist method, right? They'll walk into it. You know that that's bad, but it's also bad to spray too far away because you're not going to have the concentration actually on your skin. Which brings me to the next mistake, wrist pulse point application. All right, so here's the deal. You want to smell amazing. I want to smell amazing. We all want to smell amazing. If you're using your wrist, this is the worst pulse point, even though technically it is a pulse point. The problem with this is that it's away from everybody's face and nose. You want to make sure that when you're actually wearing a fragrance, it's up. It's up near their head. And so for me, my pulse point, one on this side, one on this side, and then a shot on my upper chest. And last but certainly not least, one more time for the kids in the back. Gentlemen, body sprays. Never, ever, ever wear body sprays, in my personal opinion. So if you guys are interested in helping me out and smelling amazing, I got a link down below. Also a discount code, 50% off, literally $25 freaking dollars.